Say these words out loud. Wet, vet. West, vest. Wine, vine. Did those all sound different to you? If some of those felt the same, or if you're not sure, this video is exactly what you need. Hi, my name's Amanda and welcome to Aussie English with Amanda, where I help skilled professionals sound clear and natural in Australian English. I'm a certified accent specialist with a level 5 TEFL diploma, and I've delivered over 9,000 sessions with students from all over the world. Before we get into it, if you're not sure where to start with your Australian English pronunciation, I've created a free 3-minute quiz that gives you a personalised starting point. The link is in the description, or scan the QR code on the screen now. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how to make the V sound and the W sound in Australian English, why these two sounds are so easy to confuse, and how to practice them so they stick. We're also going to do a short story shadowing activity, so make sure you stay until the end for that because it really pulls everything together. So let's start with why this is tricky. In many languages, V and W, and you'll notice that I'm calling them the sounds, V and W. We'll get to that in a little bit, why I'm not saying V and W. In many languages, V and W are the same sound, or they're used interchangeably. So if you've grown up speaking a language where that's the case, your brain genuinely doesn't hear a difference between them in English. And your mouth isn't sure which movement to make. It reaches for the easiest alternative or the easiest option, and that's completely normal. The sounds exist in your English, but they might not have the distinct separation that Australian English requires. And that separation really does matter because, as you heard in those words just before, the and W can completely change the word you're saying. So let's fix that. We're going to learn them one at a time, starting with the. To make the V sound, your top teeth come down lightly onto the bottom lip. The. It's not hard, although when you're practicing and trying to build up this skill, so to speak, it might need to be a little bit harder, because you're training your mouth to make this movement, all right? But end goal, not hard, just a little contact, the. Then you let the air flow through that gap and your vocal cords vibrate, the. That vibration is what makes the a voiced sound. So put your fingers onto your throat here, your vocal cords, and try it. Can you feel that buzz? It kind of sounds like a mobile phone ringing on silent. That is what you're aiming for. The. The key thing to remember here is that only your top teeth and your bottom lip are involved. Your lips do not close. Think of it as biting very gently. You're biting your V's. And just a quick note, if you don't add enough voice here, this is actually going to come out as F because F and M are sound pairs. They are made exactly the same way, except one is voiced and one is unvoiced. Now for W. W is completely different physically. Your teeth go back inside your mouth, completely out of the way. And then you bring your lips close together, round them and release. At the same time, the back of your tongue rises up towards the soft palate at the back of your mouth. W. Back of the tongue pushes up. W. My teeth are not involved at all. It is just your lips. W. The most important thing here, again, is that your teeth do not touch your lip at all. If your top teeth accidentally graze the inside of your bottom lip, it's going to come out sounding like the. So you might be rounding your lips, but if your teeth are touching, it's still going to sound like the regardless. And that's exactly what we're trying to avoid. So your lips need to be free of your teeth completely for w. One of my students gave me a really good way to remember the difference between these sounds, and I've been using it ever since. Kiss your W's and bite your V's. W or W, the lip shape looks like a kiss. W. And with V or V, you're biting. So try that now. Kiss, W. Bite, V. So let's look at the difference side by side. For V, teeth touch the lip, air flows, vocal cords vibrate. Bite, V. V. For W, teeth are back inside the mouth, lips rounded and release, tongue rises at the back, kiss. W. W. V. W. V. W. Now let's train your ear with some minimal pairs. Those are the pairs of words that I said at the beginning. I'm going to say each pair twice. Just listen first. Wet, vet. West, vest. Worse, verse. Wine, vine. Did you hear the difference? Now repeat after me. I'll leave a pause. Wet, vet. West, vest. Worse, verse. Now, if you want to practice, just to interrupt for a second, keeping your tongue down for worse and verse, because we don't pronounce the R in Australian English, I do have a video about this. This is known as the non-rhotic nature of Australian English. Video is linked up top. Wine, vine. Good. A couple of things worth knowing before we move to the short story. First, at the beginning, I said we focus on the sounds V and W. We can't rely on the spelling. The V sound will almost always be written as V in English. The one exception is the word of, O-F. So even though it's spelt with an F, it's pronounced with a V sound. For example, state of Queensland, state of Queensland. It's not state of, because that spelling would be O-F-F. That's a V of. Second, written W is almost always pronounced as W, but there are a few spelling patterns worth knowing. WH or H, most WH words are pronounced as W. What, where, when, while, whale. The exceptions are who, whom, whose, and whole, where the W is completely silent and you just start with the H sound. Who, whole. QU spelling. This one surprises people. QU is always a K sound followed by a W. Quick, quiet, queen, quite. There's a W hiding in every QU word. And one more, some words beginning with O, like one and once, even though it's spelt with a written O, it starts with a W sound. One, once. WR, when W comes before an R at the start of a word, the W is always silent. Right, wrong, wrap, wrist. You skip the W, just start with the R sound. All right, let's put it all together. Here's a short story called A Visit to the Vineyard. It's packed with the and were sounds, and I want you to really focus on making that distinction as we go. We'll do this in 2 rounds. Round 1, I'll read through it once at natural speed. Just listen and notice where the v and w sounds come up. Wendy wanted to visit a vineyard on her vacation. She wore a violet vest and brought a warm woolen wrap. The owner welcomed her warmly and offered her a glass of wine. Wendy was very excited to walk through the vines and watch the workers gather the grapes. Round 2. Now shadow along with me. I'll read it again with slight pauses and you just repeat after me. as closely as you can. Focus on biting your V's and kissing your W's. Wendy wanted to visit a vineyard on her vacation. She wore a violet vest and brought a warm woolen wrap. The owner welcomed her warmly and offered her a glass of wine. Wendy was very excited to walk through the vines and watch the workers gather the grapes. Well done! Nearly every sentence has both V and W or V and W, which is exactly what makes it such good practice. So to recap, V. Your top teeth rest gently on your bottom lip. Air flows, vocal cords vibrate. Bite your V's. W. Teeth back inside the mouth, lips round and release. Tongue rises at the back. Kiss your W's. W. In English, these are two completely separate physical movements and sounds. They will never be pronounced as the other in English. Yes, there are spelling variations of the two. It's never going to be pronounced as the other. The more you practice consciously, the more natural it becomes, and eventually you'll stop having to think about it at all. Let me know in the comments which sound you want to learn next. And if you want to know exactly where to focus your pronunciation practice next, take the free 3-minute Aussie English Clarity Quiz. Again, the link is in the description and the QR code is back on the screen. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.